How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now for today's video, I want to talk about some of the concerns that I have for the specialists that are coming to Battlefield 2042. Now I touched upon this just a little bit in my previous video where I talked about my top 5 concerns for Battlefield 2042, so if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. But in this video, I'm going to be focusing mainly on the specialists because I do think that there's a conversation to be had here. I've seen a lot of people talk about this on Reddit, I've seen people talk about this on just different YouTube videos and stuff, and it basically comes down to a lot of people are concerned about there might be a problem with potential balancing issues that comes to Battlefield when it comes to these specialists, and the fact that the specialists can use any type of weapon they want and they can have pretty much any gadget that they want. Based on previous Battlefield games, that could lead to some pretty unbalanced combinations. For example, let's look at Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4. If you wanted to use a rocket launcher, then odds are you probably had to pick the engineer in Battlefield 4. If you wanted an SMG, then you had to pick the medic class in Battlefield 5, like all the good SMGs were tied to the medic. And with previous Battlefield games, if you wanted a specific weapon, you had to pick the class that had those types of weapons. Well, that's no longer the case with Battlefield 2042. Any character that you pick can choose any weapon and have any combination of gadgets. So you can be a medic and you can have a sniper rifle and you can have a rocket launcher. Or you could be the specialist that has the grapple hook and you can pair that with a sniper rifle or an SMG, and you could also have a rocket launcher. And what I'm concerned about is that with maps being bigger than ever, I mean, these maps are going to be absolutely massive. They're going to be the biggest maps we've ever seen in Battlefield. And the player count is going to be 64 versus 64. Now, based off of all my experience with the previous Battlefields, if a map is a big map, and it's like vehicle based, then pretty much everyone you come across is either going to have a rocket launcher to try to take out vehicles, or they're going to have a sniper rifle on the bigger maps because, you know, big map, big open environment, that gives you the perfect opportunity to snipe. Well, if these maps are so unbelievably big and there's going to be, you know, more vehicles, more players, big open environments, what's to stop pretty much everyone from picking, you know, sniper rifles and stuff? In previous Battlefield games, if it's a big map, odds are you're probably getting sniped. And what's to stop, let's say, 40 people on the opposing team from doing nothing but picking sniper rifles? They could shut off an entire objective just by using sniper rifles. And now that you can combine sniper rifles with rocket launchers, you get the best of both worlds. You're sniping, say a tank tries to come up and flank you, boom, just switch to your rocket launcher, you can take out a tank. So now you can essentially have an entire squad playing together. They all have sniper rifles, they're all sitting together. They can just pull out the rocket launchers if need be to take out a tank. And boom, there you go. That's going to be really hard to take out a squad sitting at a distance camping with sniper rifles and rocket launchers. And the fact that you can combine these with all the different types of specialists, you could have a squad playing together. Let's say they all pick the grapple hook specialist. Well, now they can grapple themselves into a hard to reach spot that you can't normally get into unless you have a grapple hook. I mean, that's going to be pretty hard to stop if they're in like some nook and cranny, or they're on top of a roof, or they're in just some weird obscure place with rocket launchers and grapple hooks and sniper rifles. I mean, that's going to be pretty difficult to take out. And it's not just that. Let's say you're going up against a sniper that decides to play with the sentry turret class. One of the ways that you can normally counter snipers in Battlefield is, you know, once you figure out their location, you can maybe go clear across the map and sneak up on them from behind. Well, if they're playing with that specialist that has a sentry, well, they can just lay down a sentry and it can watch their back. Now they can freely snipe whenever they want, but they don't have to worry about getting killed from behind or being flanked because they have their own little sentry turret watching their back. And the closer you are to the sentry turret, the better that the sentry turret performs. So if they're camping right beside their sentry turret, snipers are going to be really, really difficult to take out. Say there's a sniper who's holding B, and he's been holding B the entire match, and you're getting fed up with it, and you want to go take out this sniper. You sneak up on him, he has a sentry turret watching his back, you take out the sentry, but that alerts the sniper to your position. He turns around, pulls out a rocket launcher, and just blows you up. I mean, there's going to be so many different combinations of different things that could be potentially really annoying with the fact that you can choose any single weapon with any different loadout in this game. So it definitely sounds like it's going to be fun and interesting, and I do like the idea of, you know, getting to mix and match your weapons and your loadouts and stuff, because I didn't like the idea of if I wanted to play with an SMG in Battlefield 5, I had to pick the medic, because sometimes I don't like using the medic. I like to have the option of using a rocket launcher or a mobile respawn beacon, or you name it. So we're not going to find out until like the actual beta comes along, and I'm sure that's when a lot of players are going to be giving their feedback, and I'm sure DICE can always do a lot of tweaks and stuff. But based off of all the information that we have so far, like I said, I am pretty concerned about some of the different loadouts that we may encounter. And you can't forget, now that any gadget is interchangeable, you could play as a sniper class and you could give yourself an ammo crate. So that's a combo that was never available before. One of the problems with being a sniper in previous games is if you're in a good camping spot and you're sniping, if you run out of bullets, you have to go look for more. You have to go find a teammate, look for some ammo, maybe just kill yourself and respawn. Well, now, I mean, you could give yourself an ammo crate as a sniper and you could just sit in the same spot all game and not have to worry about running out of bullets. Plus, in regards to snipers in Battlefield 2042, there's another thing that we have to take into consideration that a lot of people are kind of overlooking, and it's that new system that they're adding to the game where any class can change the attachments on their weapons just on the fly. And that sounds pretty cool. I mean, it sounds really neat to just, you know, suddenly put a silencer on your weapon, or change the scope out, or change the ammo type. Maybe you're going into a building, you obviously want to change your scope or whatever. I mean, it sounds really cool. It sounds really handy. Think about the sniper rifles. Let's say that some dude has a sniper build and he can just pick people off at a distance. But let's say he wants to go from, you know, long range to mid range. What's to stop him from swapping his scopes on the fly? He takes off a long range scope, puts on a mid-range scope. Maybe he can change the rate of fire or the ammo type on his sniper rifle. He can essentially turn it into a DMR, so he goes from long range to mid-range. So now snipers can be deadly at multiple ranges. I feel like we're going to see a lot more snipers than what we're used to in regular Battlefield, because with all the different combinations of the gadgets, being able to swap different parts out on your weapon, you're going to be able to play as the sniper class at different ranges and be able to play perfectly fine. Depending on what type of sniper rifle you have, I mean, if it's bolt action, you're obviously going to want to play a little bit further away than your enemies. You're not going to want to be up close and personal. But if you have something that's like semi-auto, it's essentially just a DMR, and you can just pop people at mid-range and maybe even a little bit closer range. But I guess that really just depends on what all different types of attachments you're able to swap on your weapons on the fly. I used to be really good at sniping in Battlefield 4 back in my prime about 6 years ago, and I know if I can just change my attachments on the fly like that, and I can go from long range to mid range, I guarantee you that that's something that I'm going to take advantage of, and that's something that a lot of other people are probably going to take advantage of as well. So hopefully it's not too overpowered. We don't see too many things that are broken. I'm sure the community is going to come up with some just absolutely ridiculously broken loadouts. And I just hope that, you know, with YouTube being as big as it is now and Twitch being as massive as it is, YouTubers like to make videos on what the best loadouts are, what the best weapons are, and that sort of helps form the meta that's going on currently. It happens with any video game. Look at Apex Legends. Whatever the best weapon is what everybody uses. The same applies to like any battle royale or any multiplayer game. So I'm just afraid that someone's going to find this absolutely broken specialist and combine it with certain gadgets and weapons, and you're just going to have these like god tier builds that people are going to use, and then you're just going to see nothing but everyone using a copy paste of the same exact loadout just over and over and over. It's also pretty worrisome of, you know, the fact that there's going to be more vehicles running around because there's more players. I feel like pretty much everyone's going to use a rocket launcher at this point, because why would you not use a rocket launcher? If there's going to be more tanks on the battlefield and every single class can use a rocket launcher, it's no longer tied to just the assault class or just the engineer class. Now you can have, you know, SMGs and rocket launchers and snipers and rocket launchers. I think the majority of players are going to just have rocket launchers, and that could potentially make it not fun to use vehicles. It's really going to suck if every time you get into a helicopter or every time you want to spawn in a tank, the enemy team 20 of them have rocket launchers. But that's just some of my concerns with the specialist classes. Like I said, we're not going to know until the beta comes out and until the actual game comes out. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you have any concerns for the specialist classes? Do you think that it's going to be completely fine? This is just an overreaction. But I've been playing Battlefield for quite some time now. I think I started back in Battlefield 3. I've played maybe 5 or 6 Battlefields in my day, and I've reached the level cap in most of them. So I have a lot of Battlefield experience under my belt because I've always been more of a Battlefield guy instead of Call of Duty. And just based off of all my years of experience playing Battlefield, that's why I have these concerns. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'm going to be covering a lot more Battlefield 2042 towards the end of this year. So subscribe if you guys want to see that. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I stream at SwanyPlaysGames live. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 4 lately just because of all the hype for Battlefield 2042. So if you guys want to catch some Battlefield streams, you can catch me over there. And that is going to do it for this video, guys, and I will talk to you all in the next video.